Okay, it looks like we're rolling. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hello, dear Virgo. This is Tarot Illumination. This is your general report for what we call May 2018. It's going to be a very straightforward, simple journey of the heart, okay? That's what we focus on here at Tarot Illumination. It's the healing power of love, loving yourself. Love thyself first and foremost. And it's all about listening to the heart and responding accordingly. Okay, now cards are already well shuffled in advance. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. Cards are beautiful the way they were originally painted. I do not like to look at art upside down. Also, you know the drill. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, and then reinterpret to suit yourselves, okay? And if you really, really want to get into it, watch for your, do the cross-watching for the significant others in your life. Now, if you do need love and relationships, there's a whole other playlist for that, okay? For May, so just check it out, all right? Another thing, hold on, notes. I've done this for all the other reports for May because May is kind of a big deal month for everybody, including Virgos. Virgo, May 2018. These are my personal little notes, just little sketch things that I pull out just to, as a reference, just you know, like a napkin, you know, having a doodles on a napkin. So we're putting you on the horizon here, okay? There you go, Virgo, like Virgo sun, moon, or rising, right there on the horizon. So that you can see like the highlighted parts here. The first one I want to mention is the Taurus-Scorpio axis. Right at the very tippy end of April, there's a big fat full moon there, which is going to have like an afterglow for a couple of weeks as you integrate everything that happened at the culmination of that full moon. And it's with the Taurus-Scorpio axis, which is very comfortable and harmonious for you, Virgo. And it happens in your 3rd house and 9th house here. So you might be feeling like new levels of awareness starting to happen to you, gateways opening up for you, new horizons, new vistas, shocking, weird, interesting, spontaneous, unpredictable when it comes to your higher consciousness, perhaps bigger horizons, more travel, more learning, greater connection with source, that kind of stuff. And then figuring out how to bring that into day-to-day mundane conversation so that you can relate this stuff in spoken word, written word, listening and speaking, okay? The next big thing is it's basically this big, huge shift. It's this gateway here. Taurus energy, May 15th. There's the big fat Taurus new moon, and simultaneously, Uranus goes into Taurus. So that's a very big deal day for the whole year. It's the mark at the beginning of a 7-year journey, starting right here. It's going to take 7 years for Uranus to do this journey, okay? Kaboom. And every time the sun and the moon come round to this point, it's going to trigger this energy. Every month for the moon, every year for the sun, okay? So there you go. Now simultaneously, you've got the big Capricorn energy shifts happening over here in your 5th house of love and relationship. Well, love and romance, true love, and like the lovey-dovey stuff, okay? This is, again, very deep, long-term transitions going on here. Pluto, Saturn together, especially with a crescendo point, January 2020. That's another whole video. So this is very harmonious for you. A lot of this is very good for you. So you might actually really enjoy May, the Taurus energy, the Capricorn energy, the Virgo energy, all harmonizing very nicely for you. Where it might get tricky is right towards the very end of the month. We're going to have a full moon in Gemini with the Sagittarius moon, okay? And that's highly conflicting to you. So it could be very challenging. You might feel things in the context of relationships, which will have a shockwave effect into the foundations of your life, and how does that affect you in your career, your destiny, so to speak. So just keep an eye out for that. Just, you know, heads up kind of thing. I don't want to read anything more into it. It's not a personal reading. This is not an astrology channel. I just wanted to give you some calendar moments and a few buzzwords. Okay, so we're going to go into it right now, and you'll just get in the flow, just chill, bring your angels in. That's what I do here. We turn it into kind of like a team effort, okay? And I invite you to do the same as well. The angels love to be invited, and they take it very personally, all right? They still love you if you don't, but it really, really helps to build a good relationship with your guides. Okay, I think we're pretty well shuffled, and let's cut it up and then get into it. All right. So I'm really, really going to break this up. All right, here we go. This is the heart energy core, the very soul of you here, okay? The heart knows what it needs, knows what it wants, and it's up to you, dear Virgo, to listen and respond accordingly. Ignoring the heart can lead to a lot of problems, okay? So that's the whole thing about Tarot Illumination, is allowing the healing power of love to fill your life and body and world and mind and heart, everything from up above, okay? By invitation, by invocation. Listen to what your heart is saying. Okay, legacy energy. This is what you're bringing in with you. Who knows? That could be anything. Maybe you've been stressed out for April and March and whatever, and even February. Maybe you're having a really good roll right now with things. Who knows? Anyway, this is the energy of the ever-present now. This is where we own our power by staying present, by being very grounded, present, and conscious, staying right there, not taking things too personally, not leaning too heavily on the status quo or what we call the past, and using that as a model to project into the future as though you have no say in any of these matters. You have all your power and say in the now, in the present, and that's where you make your decisions. You know, even though you might have perhaps very restrictive circumstances, there is still the present, and you can still make certain decisions that are basically your business and your business alone. So this would represent the energy of your decisions, your decision-making phenomenon, the capacity, the capability. So the question then becomes like, how do you execute your decisions in a way that's most loving for you? Okay, that would be this type of energy here. The whole idea is that the phenomenon of decision making is what allows us to activate our evolution here, pulse by pulse, beat by beat. What are you going to do right now, Virgo? What do you need right now for you, and how are you going to get that? That's the question the heart is always asking in a very subliminal way. I need my nutrients. I need dinner. I need rest. I need more nurture. I need more care. Please don't overwork me. Please don't load me up with stresses that are not mine. Please don't load me up with chemicals and products that don't belong in my system. It's very, very, very simple, but we often ignore that and think we know better. Okay, so let's just say you're totally deeply committed to being in the present, no matter what you're bringing in with you, and you're listening carefully, you're staying as conscious as possible and owning your decisions, then you would create consequences, okay? Outcomes. So when you're making healthy decisions, healthy outcomes. The thing is, there's always a question of risk, because no matter how present you are, we still, in our human forms, we don't always know what lies ahead. And so sometimes we can mess up on our decisions. What does that look like when we mess up? Okay. At the same time, what if you're in a really good spot and you're really tuned in and you know it and you feel it? What does it look like when you're making those good decisions? How does that feel? And what's the momentum like? You know, because you build momentum. Love breeds love. When you literally do things consciously and deliberately and treat love is in a way that love is as love does, then you understand that love is a conscious, willing, deliberate decision to basically kind of get outside your existing comfort zone, extend yourself beyond your current status in order to deliberately foster and nurture your own spiritual growth and healing and that of your significant loved ones. But primarily you first. That is the most important thing you can do in life, because that's what's good for everybody else. When you are strong and deeply loved at the core of you by yourself, then that creates a beautiful aura which extends through your life and through your world, pulse by pulse, heartbeat by heartbeat. A lot of us live through our brains, of course, and all our senses. A lot of our sense organs are focused up and collected in our brain like an antenna on a cell phone. But really, the true core is the heart. Over here, we're going to look at circumstantial energy, call it the weather. And no matter what it is, I'm asking you, Virgo, to make the best of it, okay? So that you're not buffeted by the weather. Just because it's a beautiful day doesn't mean you have to be happy. Just because it's a really sucky day out there doesn't mean you have to be miserable, okay? That's all I'm trying to suggest. So you have the Three of Cups. My feeling is, in a very classic, tender type of discreet, modest Virgo type way, you have every reason right now to congratulate yourself. In fact, share that with your buddies. And maybe your buddies are nudging you very gently to allow yourself to treat yourself better. Allow yourself to enjoy life, the actual simple things of life, like good diet, good food, good company, good attitude, good decisions, good situations, good locations, good activities, good thoughts. Think good thoughts. Thoughts are things, they lead to consequences, lead to actions. Thoughts are very closely related to the decision-making process. It's so easy to um, undermine ourselves with our words. Think of the healing power of your words, and think of also the healing power of the absence of conscious awareness of your words and what happens. My feeling is that this is an indication that you are deeply loving and that you are deeply loved, and your significant others know that, okay? Especially when it comes to the simple joys of hanging out with the people who love you and the people that you love, okay? That's how it feels to me. It's almost, I mean, you know, it's almost like party time conditions for you anyway, that with all this lovely Taurus energy here, the Capricorn energy here, it is so supportive for your own evolutionary self, for your own identity, your growth as a person. These are heavy duty, long-term transits. So this is a real time to celebrate. Make the most of this energy for the long term. Sure, you got the Sagittarius Gemini thing coming up. Yeah, it might be challenging, but with this heavy duty support here, it's like you've got massive firepower. Okay? Let's have a look at the heart energy. What's going on? Well, you're doing a great job. Maybe despite all the support that's out there, you're still deeply challenged, and your heart knows that. But your heart also knows that you've got the resources, the passion, the desire, and the skills to handle this. So it's not a big deal. It's almost like that, in some kind of sport or game thing. It's like when you're doing relays or something, and somebody, like, imagine you're jogging or something and doing a marathon or something, and there's a crowd and somebody slaps you on the shoulder and gives you a big hoot and says, come on, man, you can do this, you can hang in there, you can handle it, all the stresses. Yeah, you might be falling apart, maybe it's really, an uphill part here, or maybe there's some really tough competition nearby. Or maybe you realize that you left your water bottle at home and you forgot to take half your nutrients, but you're still hanging in. You're doing it. The heart is very strong here, and it has there's no giving up here at all. I'm not saying it's like bring it on, but what I'm feeling is that you are definitely rising to the challenges. The thing is, as harmonious as this energy is, the lovely Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, trine harmony energy, deep inside these transits, there are very, very deep challenges, okay? Pluto and Saturn here in Capricorn, just start planning now for January 2020. Same thing here with Taurus, the Uranus thing, where it's very difficult to predict how this is going to work out simply because of the Uranian nature. But it is going to affect you in your higher consciousness, your awareness of like the bigger picture of life, perhaps travel, perhaps, radical shifts and changes in locations, more travel, more global travel, maybe more connections with people all over the world in ways that you never imagined before. And the big triggers are going to happen every time the sun hits here, every year for the next 7 years, and every month when the moon hits here. It's like clockwork, okay? What are you bringing in with you? Let's have a look. Again, I feel this is very modest and understated, even though it's very glorious. With the Ten of Cups here, this is like the having it all card in terms of owning happiness inside your heart. And there's probably evidence around you that you could demonstrate, like if you were, if you wrote into Tarot Lumination and said, like, you know what, TL, you touched on something like I know, like pretend I'm you, Virgo, like I know for a fact that I'm deeply loved and I have family and I have really, really good people and they love me and I love them and we share this and it grows and grows and grows and blossoms and we toast this, we celebrate it. I never thought of it as such a big deal, but it's actually a very big deal. Thank you for reminding me, Terra Illumination. And I say, okay, well, it's okay. That's why we're here. This is why we do this stuff to get you guys to higher levels of consciousness and awareness so that you can stay like uh, in the zone with your own spiritual evolution and your own soul growth, your own life journey. That's all we're doing here. It's like spiritual GPS. Okay, that's what we do here. So, what about the ever present now? What have we got going on? Okay, well, the Knight of Wands here, to me, this feels it's like very simple. Like, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. I'm all fired up. I've got the wind in my sails. I've got this tremendously supportive energy coming at you from all angles. It's almost like impossible to get better support energy for you, dear Virgo, from all this Taurus energy, all this Capricorn energy. You don't have to depend on other people for that. It's out there in the skies. It's in the heavens there waiting for you. Please understand, you're a very lucky Virgo. You're a very wealthy Virgo. You're a very happy Virgo. And you're a very, very blessed Virgo. Okay? And you have every reason to celebrate. You don't have to be completely like woohoo party time about this. You can own this inside of you at the depth of your soul very, very deeply and cherish this. This is almost like sacred energy as far as I'm concerned for you. And you can, it's almost like you can rest assured that however challenging the circumstances might be, when these key factors hit their trigger points, you can handle it, okay? Because it's very supportive. And so this is like you radiating the energy in the present now in a way that maybe a lot of people can't do or wouldn't do because it's for a lot of people this is going to be extremely challenging energy, okay? Extreme challenges. But for you, it could be very fortuitous. So you might be thinking, wow, this is so cool. I'm going to make the best of it. I'm going to stay as present and conscious as I can. I am grounded. I am present. I am conscious. I am here. Forget about the past. Forget about the future. Stay deeply conscious and aware in the present every single moment. And that shouldn't be too hard for you, Virgo. You can be very, very focused and precise and detailed and really get into it. What about the healing power of your decisions in the now where you own your power? Okay. Did we explain that? This is where your power lies. Okay. Not in the past, not in the future. You might have great credentials, but we're dealing with right now. What's happening right now? So let's have a look. Goodness. Okay. With the Nine of Cups, this to me feels like you know this and you own it. It's like, to me, this is an affirmation that this isn't just out there and you're bringing in this, like it's almost like embarrassing. To me it's almost like Virgo's coming in blushing embarrassed, like knock knock, hey, Terra Illumination, I wanted to say, like, I feel like this is a little miniature private reading of my own and not every Virgo has this, but I feel like insanely blessed right now. It's almost embarrassing. I don't know what to do. I feel so loving. I feel so loved. And that's great. And it's like it's out there. It's out there. You can see it. There's the evidence, and you're bringing that with you, almost like it's like a resume. And then what I'm sensing here is the realization: wow, now that I own this, I own this. I earned this. This is mine. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that it just didn't happen automatically. You just didn't inherit this and this happened. You must have been doing something in your life over the last few months, the last few years, maybe the last few past lives to get to this point where you can own this much gold. It's like literally like owning gold bars of happiness on the inside of you. And it doesn't matter what happens in the outside world. You know, you could lose loved ones, maybe pets, maybe there's some kind of tragedy here and there, or huge upheavals here and there in other people's lives, and it all affects you outside. But nobody can touch this. Nobody is going to take you off of this role right now. That's very, very good news. It's like when you own that much happiness, it's literally like having like a trust fund. So how are you going to like make the most of this in a way that's most loving for you? Um, in theory, it should be quite simple. Let's have a look. Okay, you're going to see it as a new opportunity. You're not going to let it go to your head. You're going to realize that this is incredibly valuable. In some ways, it's very rare. Like statistically speaking, it's very rare to have this much support, this much harmony for such an extended period of time. And so this is literally like long-term gold investment program. Like you've inherited something, but it's from your own making. You created this, okay, from a long-term strategy, doing something right, a life well lived, lots of healing decisions. So when you're making your decisions about, well, what am I supposed to do with all this? If you're so abundant already, well, guess what? I'm sure there's some kind of like bumper sticker saying, to those who receive, more will come, something like that. And then the problem is like you have so much love, so much bounty. The problem becomes, what do you do with it? And I was reading a story about people who were very successful real estate managers. They can get phone calls from the federal government and they say, hey, listen, you're so good at what you do. Would you guys please be willing to take on these massive, like Section 8 properties in some of these huge cities? Because it's very hard for us. We don't really know what to do. We're federal people. We do government. We don't do property management. And then you kind of go, oh, okay. Because you're really, really good at this stuff. You're really good at owning the love, creating the love, nurturing the love, managing the love. And so this is an amazing opportunity for you to take it to the next level where, and again, this wouldn't be here. It's very, very important to realize that this is not going to last forever. It is big, heavy duty long term, but it's not going to last forever. So the point is, you have to make the most of it now. It's going to start on May 15th. That is the big blinking green light to go to start this new journey properly. Everybody's being funneled into this thing like this magic on ramp that takes us into a new world from the May 15th dates onwards. It's the same for you. And this is a golden opportunity for you to like bring all your skills, your craft, your knowledge, wisdom, and awareness, hint, hint, ninth house, into practice, hint, hint, third house, Jupiter and Scorpio, still here for most of the rest of 2018. So make that work for you. See this as a golden opportunity. Seize the energy, grab all this amazing bounty, and make even more out of it, okay? Capitalize on this, literally like business. Capitalize on your extreme good fortune and make even more out of it. And like literally become wiser because of that. And then consequently, you score. And it gets to the point where people literally, they might not say it to your face, or they might. This is really almost, it's just almost like a public, it's like almost like a public award ceremony where certain people, perhaps high ups, are starting to realize, Virgo, you are freaking awesome. I don't know exactly what you do or how you do what you do, but it is amazing. And you deserve an applause. And I think it's more than just your average applause. This is almost like a standing ovation. That's what I'm seeing here for you. Simply because you've been a very diligent, dutiful Virgo, and you're getting the love that you deserve, okay? Because you've worked so, so, so hard for this. And you put so much courage and so much energy, and this is your time. This is your moment, and you know it, and you're going for it. And you deserve the beautiful outcomes that you get, okay? Because you're going to need all this. At some point, you know, when all these energies shift and everything shifts eventually years down the road, maybe it's all going to shift into Gemini. And, you know, over here in March, things could be more challenging, and you'll be glad that you did all this investment now. Let's have a look over here. What if you mess up? Well, it's hard to mess up with this, but what if you do? Okay. Well, if you do, it makes me feel as though you lose track of your spiritual path. But I feel like it would be very easy to get back on path again. And yes, it might feel like with all this wonderful stuff going on here, In order to evolve and grow, it does mean having to let go of all of whatever constituted your world beforehand. To me, this is a real gateway month. May 15th is a gateway, like the before and after, like it's a big calendar moment for the whole planet. There's life before May 15th and there's life after. To me, this looks like if you mess up and have a bad day, you still get stuck in life before, and then it's like being stuck in the mud and getting all like feeling almost like tragic about everything that you're leaving behind that you had to outgrow anyway in order for you to continue your journey. However, the other perspective is when you commit to the journey, you understand that it is a journey and things will change, then you can see this legacy that you're leaving behind as something very beautiful, very rich, very luscious, and it's deeply vested with love, and it's history. And now it's time for you to move on into the great unknown with what might appear to be very little guidance, but you're actually being guided by deep intuition and what I would call angelic spiritual guidance here, okay? So that's good news as far as I'm concerned as your reader. Momentum. Look, to me, it's an indication that this takes you, it's almost like every beat, every pulse of the heart takes you to a better and better place where you realize a lot of this is about maintaining mastery over your emotions so that you don't get sucked into the emotional quagmires and fears and shadows that can happen at the emotional body, or how the mental body can be all frightened and fearful, and that triggers fear in the emotions in the heart. My feeling is that what you would learn by this with so much love energy, so much cups and love energy, that it's like you're like the living embodiment of someone who understands the healing power of love. You understand and you become the embodiment of love and healing, knowing that love is almost synonymous with healing, knowing that it can be done like a formula. It's almost like living the embodiment of love and healing. I wish I could say it in better terms. I don't know how to say it, but to me, this is a very beautiful reading for you, Virgo. Very happy for you. There might be all sorts of really challenging things going on in your life, in your world, but at the core soul level, you've got something very beautiful here. And this is for the long term. You own this. Nobody can take this from you. You must have worked lifetimes to get to have a reading like this. That's what I feel, Virgo. So I'm really seriously, my hat goes off to you. I'm serious. My hat goes off to you, Virgo. Well done. Thanks for choosing Tarot Illumination. See you again next month, okay? And come and visit us for Sunday Night Live too. Why not? We'd love to have you there. I'd love to have your energy there. It would be awesome. Wow. Okay. Cheers.